So yesterday we did a video on the Maple Bitcoin channel talking about the GameStop stuff that's going on. And I would highly encourage everybody to check that out. Even though we kind of missed the timing of it a little bit, we went down some roads that weren't overly relevant, but I think there's still a lot of good information in there. And this was a tweet that I saw this morning after we posted that video. And I want to share some of the thoughts on this. This is from Cena 21st Capital. I think I've seen some videos with this guy before. But anyways, this is his plan to save GameStop, which could be coming into reality here. So buy lots of Bitcoin. I think he's missing a word there. Buy lots Bitcoin. Rename to Game Strategy Inc. Ticker to GMI, which is short for gonna make it, instead of NGMI, not gonna make it. Bitcoin ATMs at all branches. Accept Bitcoin payments. A Bitcoin rewards program. And this was the one that I wanted to focus on. Partner with game developers to build Bitcoin rewards in games. This is one of the points I raised in the Maple Bitcoin video yesterday, was like, how much sense does that make to be doing? Think about the amount of people who play games on their phone. Like, everybody's on their phone all day. It's sad, but it's the reality of things. And there's a couple companies who have been building this in this space right now that allow for people to play games, watch ads, and earn Bitcoin. Thunder Games being one of them, ZBD being another one. And imagine if GameStop could actually transition their business strategy to be doing that and offering games, mobile games, that actually pay out in sats that you can both earn sats with watching ads from, or actually gambling with them with other people, or against the house, the computer. I think that there's a massive opportunity there. Donate to open source Bitcoin devs. Yes, that's a big one. Don't use Coinbase. Also a big one. And don't peddle. I like this one too. Don't peddle only store of value ideas, and promote actual usage of Bitcoin on Lightning. Massive opportunity here. I really believe that. And I didn't really understand that as much as I thought. I thought that they were kind of just going to, buy Bitcoin to save their company at first. But anyways, a couple thoughts I have on this, and this is going to be one of the reasons why I'm actually going to sell some of my MicroStrategy shares for GameStop today. A couple reasons. Number one is that GameStop obviously has some brand recognition there. There's a large community of GameStop owners who have held on to the share for a lot of years without any sort of real value there. They've kind of been waiting for something like this to happen. And I think that this is the best possible move that GameStop could be making. So they have a lot of community here. And I think we've understood the fact, the importance of community and networks when you're trying to grow something. So I think that all of the other companies who have tried to use this Bitcoin strategy, it won't be as effective for them because they don't have that sort of brand recognition. They don't have that community there to get behind this. And so I think that that's a big part of it. We talk about memeing things into existence all the time. Bitcoin's a perfect example of that. And I really think that GameStop is going to be, it's not going to be an exception to that. So that's one thing. I think that we really can meme things into existence. I think that GameStop will be one of those things that is memed into existence. And this is why I say that, because this is kind of how I see it playing out. And I was watching the guys from True North last night, Jeff, Ben, those guys. And I loved their conversation. I loved a lot of things they talked about. I didn't love one thing. And I think it was from Ben who said it. He said, he likes it. He likes the idea of investing in GameStop, but he's going to wait until they actually buy before he starts getting in on it. And I just think that that's terrible advice, because here's kind of how I see this playing out. If you were looking at this thing a couple of weeks ago or a month ago, you would have seen the picture with Saylor and Ryan Cohen, the CEO of GameStop, took a picture together. You could have put some things in your mind together. This guy's having a conversation with Saylor. This is probably going to be announced soon. If you have the foresight and the vision to see things before other people, that's the opportunity. And I don't think it could be any more clear that GameStop will be buying Bitcoin. It's just a matter of how much. And I, for one, am not going to wait until they actually buy Bitcoin, because I can see the writing is on the wall here. And if you wait until they announce that they bought Bitcoin, you're going to be with everybody else. So yes, it's a little bit of risk. I would say the odds of them actually going this far, announcing what they have announced and changing their mind, I think are very low. So if you can weigh the probability of that in your own mind and say, okay, these guys are probably going to be buying Bitcoin. This is probably going to be a massive thing. I want to front run this. That's buying GameStop today, not waiting for them to announce it. And the reason why I put such a high probability of them actually buying Bitcoin is because if you look at the release that they put out, this was a unanimous decision by the board. This wasn't like a 5-4 split where there's 4 people who didn't want to be doing this and 5 that did. This was a unanimous decision from the board of GameStop to pursue Bitcoin. The next day, they announced their first offering. I think it was 1.4 billion, 1.3 billion of convertible senior notes. So I, for one, am not going to wait for them to buy Bitcoin. They're going to be buying Bitcoin, and I'm going to front run whoever's going to catch on to this in the next couple weeks and months. So that's the other thing I would say is I didn't like that advice. I think that, you know, you have to take a little bit of risk if you want to get the biscuit, as they say. And the other part of that too is the reason why I'm going to buy it first is because they have the attention now of the GameStop community. I'm guessing around the world right now, there's a lot of GameStop holders, nerds, tech guys, gamers. They've seen this. This is something that they've been waiting a long time for, some sort of announcements of like what they're going to be doing. And I think that they're going to start looking into Bitcoin here. And when they start looking into Bitcoin, I think that they're going to be pleasantly surprised what they find. And they're going to realize that this, yes, not only is this their best option, but this is a massive opportunity for where this world is moving into. So once they catch on to that, once they start sniffing around in Bitcoin, the demand for this stock is going to go through the roof. I think it's going to be very volatile. I think it's going to be more volatile than MicroStrategy because it is such a well-known brand, I guess, and stock from retail and larger pools of capital. So that's kind of my thoughts on it, and that's why I'm going to actually sell some of my my strategy shares to buy GameStop. I think it's a better short-term play. I'm not going to hold on to it for like 5 years. I see MicroStrategy as a very long-term play. I'm going to use the community waking up, very intelligent people. They're not dumb people within the GameStop community. These are very intelligent people. And when they see what's happening here in Bitcoin with GameStop, this thing's going to go through a very large upward spike quick. And so I think that because of that, because it's much more recognized within the retail investing, I think it's going to go up quicker than a MicroStrategy for this year. I'm going to probably cash them out. I'm going to look at this as more of like a short-term trade. This is not financial advice. This is just what I'm doing and how I see it. So if you buy GameStop and you get wrecked, you can't blame me. But, you know, if you do, that means that Bitcoin's probably failed and you won't get much from me anyway. So